Hey, welcome everybody. Monday night at the graveyard shift. Kumusta maganda gabi sa inyo lahat? How are we guys? Been a busy day today. Started off not being busy, but it was alright. Got a few things done today. Got some watering done at the front. Mm, very important to water the garden. I've got to finish off the hedge at the bottom. Um, Thanks for your likes, guys. Much appreciated. Um, have to get the hedge done tomorrow. Cause Wednesday, got to go and get my eyes tested. Hello, good day, mate. How you going, Joe and Jeannie? Jenny, welcome. How's things? Yes, I'm in CJ's room. It seems to be a bit of a rare normality now. Not a rarity, a normality. Hello, Dennis. Said excuse me, that went down the wrong way. Oh, God. I drank too fast. Bugger. How are you, Dennis Adam? That is actually a GoPro Hero 7. I checked it out yesterday. 2018 model, Dennis Adam. Uh, yeah, I checked that out last. Oh, actually, sometime this morning, I got cold fingers. I don't know why. Been out in the garden and got pricked by one of rose thorn. Hate roses. I love roses because they're flowers, but I hate the thorns. Jeez, prick. But what I did, I had a compost. I got a compost bin out the front. Well, it was actually up this side way, but on Mum's at the front on Mum's side of the bedroom, and I been there for a while. It hasn't really been breaking down, but then again, I haven't been put much in it. The one down the back corner over that way, doing bonza without the bloody compost lid uh, and casing. Um, Compost bins are okay. Um, you basically got to thanks Joe and Jeannie. Here you go, and Dennis Adams. The compost bins are okay. Search that model came out in what year? I think it was in 2018. But I think in America, I think it came out, or Japan, it came out earlier. I'm not sure. But it's a good little GoPro, that one. And it does really well. I think that's the one that came out. You don't really need the case if you're doing scuba diving, but I don't do much scuba diving, so I don't think I'm going to be using it for that. It's good in one way, but not in another. But I had I have got two films on it, which I did download onto the computer the other day. Haven't had the chance to put them, add them to KineMaster for editing yet. That I keep. If I do two on the GoPro and I download them on the computer, I tend to leave them for a couple of days just in case I don't do a video. So I have them in reserve. But the compost bin, they're a good idea. Must have them out in a sunny place because they work better and more efficiently. This one has no bottom on it, so you can lift it up from the bottom and pull it away, and it should all just break down and should be able to thing. But I've found with just leaving old tree branches and old tree branches and grass clippings on top of the uh, other stuff, it tends to break down a lot better on its own without using a compost bin. So I've got that at the front. So whoever takes it, good on them. I don't really want it. The neighbour across the road asked me if I had it, I'd have it, but I've got nowhere. Or what I mean, I've got nowhere. I've got no sunny spot in the sun for it to think. You need to make sure you mix it up. Yeah, exactly. I haven't had a chance to, Joe. The one down the bottom corner, I just leave that. I don't know. I've got one over this corner here, broken old tree, tea tree, and it's just breaking down on its own. I let it die out. I throw water on it. I throw soil down. I then grab my gloves once it dries, and I'll put it around the garden bed, just around the edge of the garden bed, and I'll put some soil on top, and then I'll put some newspaper and throw some vegetables on it, and then do the same again, and just put the hose on it, more tree branches, then that, and it breaks down on its own. But with the compost bin, you've got to add what you put in there and then thing. Yeah, exactly. And banana skins and stuff like that. But I've got a little tree down the bottom over here, next to the pond, which I just throw the banana skins in them, and they break down in that tree, that plant. For some unknown reason, by the next day or next 2 days, it's gone. I don't know whether the ants get it or whether it just breaks down overnight and goes into the tree. But the other one I have is just like a dry dirt, grass. I throw the lawn mowing clippings, which I haven't done today. I've got to mow the lawn again tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow sometime. And I'll put the grass clippings on the lawn in there, and it'll break it down even better. I should really throw it on the one out here, but the trouble is when when the wind picks up, they go everywhere. So I've got to sort of throw some more stuff onto it, and put some potty mix on the one at the front here, which is good. But it's breaking down. The one down here is breaking down pretty quick. The one over here is doing all right. That's breaking down pretty quick. And I've made it like a little raised bed garden with trellis around it. So that's taken a little while to break down, but it's breaking down. It's doing okay. So I'm happy with that compost tape. Yeah, on that camera, boy, the GoPro is good. It's one of the best tools are one of the best cameras a YouTuber can have, I reckon. Um, Along with your phone, it makes it easier, and they are a hell of a lot better. And if you need to, you just put, put. I've just got to work out what's going on with my OneDrive at the moment. It's allowing two, and then it shuts off and says something went wrong. So I've got to find out what that is. I've been meaning to do it. I might do them tomorrow night because it's pretty hard after your live stream to do things because you want to sort of crash and but uh, I've got two films on there I need to upload because I haven't done any videos for a couple of days. Oh, since Saturday, I think. I did two, one live, and I got another video in here, in this phone, which I probably could download onto the uh, laptop and add that with the other one. But it's similar to what I did on Saturday, so I think it's funny. I loaded two down the same a couple of days back, and I got a copyright infringement because they were similar. So I had to go to Made Not for Kids, and it took that away. It took the copyright away. But you got to jump on it very quickly, guys. If you're slowly being monitorized, if you're being monitorized, you've got to make sure you've got no copyright issues. It makes it hard. But you sort of got to make sure you don't also go around where there's music playing. You've either got to pause your phone or your GoPro. With the GoPro pausing it, I don't think the GoPros. That's one thing the GoPros have missed out on, unless it's one. The GoPro 9 has got a pause button on it. But if there's a pause button on it, please guys tell me where it is, because I'm struggling there to find a pause button. I have to turn the power off and then redo it again. Not redo it, but add another thing. So when I turn the GoPro off and then turn it back on again, I've got to add that to the other part of the film I've done. But with using the phone, you can pause. Except for your live stream. You can't pause on a live stream. Unless those three little digits down here tell you that you can. I'm not going to press any of these buttons because I know that will have some information there. This one here, I'm not sure. And this one here is my chat. And this one here is my camera to turn it around. So, and the cross up there is to say good night, sort of thing, But that's one good thing about doing live streams on the phone. But the other part is that there's no pause button on this when you do a live stream. But when you do a video, yeah, pause. So that's okay. There's no stress there, which is good. Um, and you can pretty well much uh, pick up where you left off, um, and it makes it a lot easier. Uh, so these Samsungs are really good in that way. Uh, they have got a lot. The technology on these phones has just blown my mind. It really has. What they have on them, what you can use. I had Google Chrome on my phone and I was getting a few messages I didn't like, so I enabled it. So I've just got Google on my phone now, which is good. I don't think I need Google Chrome. Oh, okay. That's good, Dennis. That's great. Um, this, so I think the iPhone's different than the Samsung. I'm not sure about the Samsung Galaxy 10 though. I know for a fact that with doing live streams on the Samsung Galaxy S, there is not a. I should test it one day, do a test, and check out what this one is. This one is. I know what this one is. This one's a chat, but this one here, I'm not quite sure. I'm just pointing to the emblems at the bottom, guys. But the three little dots there, that will be like probably settings and stuff like that. But this one I'm not sure of here. It's got like two moons, one covering the other one, like the sun going over the moon, and it's got a half thing. So, how are you, Joe and Jeannie? Jeannie, how's things going there? How's uh, Jeannie going in Mindoro? Lockdown must be, um, she's still in hard lockdown, yeah? But we five five cases today and two deaths for Australia. So slowly, he's going to bring us out of this slowly and agonising. Uh, it's a $5,000 fine if you're caught outside your 5K restricted zone. I think he should have lifted that and just get the face masks and because kids returned to playgroup today. Yay! Except for CJ because I look after him. Mummy works on Wednesday. I don't know how I'm going to work this out Wednesday because I've got to go and have these tested. And he's been waking up at 8 o'clock in the morning, CJ. So it's not going to be easy going to get your eyes tested. And I suppose Granny will have to come with me and he'll have to sit in the car and wait. But my appointment's at 9 o'clock, so and Granny's carer comes and around about that time, so um, it's going to be interesting. Um, so we'll have to work out something. If I feel a bit edgy about it, I probably could change my eye testing day to another day. I'm only getting my eyes tested because, tell you guys, something's happened to my eyes when I do the typing and doing my. I even did it last night while I was laying in bed. I had the light off. And I was typing. I wasn't doing anything else. I was just typing. I was talking to. Actually, I went to Exotic Panay. Vicky. Hey, big shout out to you, Vicky. Big shout out to Mama Hipster. So well. And big shout out to Kevin Nash's Kitchen. Mars Bankard. Sir J. Big shout out to a British expat living in the Philippines. Jane and John. Big shout out to a Brit living in the Philippines, Chris and Mel and family, kids. Just also a big shout out to our life in the Philippines, Anthony and Lynn. A foreigner in the Philippines, Terence and Beth. A farmer, a foreigner farming in the Philippines. I'll get it right. Brian, Marcel, and little Charlie. And a foreigner living in the Philippines, Lester and Jack Main, and baby Caitlin. Also, Ruthie and Arthur's adventures, as well as Chauffeur Jen. Big shout out to you, Dale. Thank you for helping us with our watch hours. Much appreciated. Big shout out to Chris Beecham, who's not on at the moment. Big shout out to Adrian Gibson. Big shout out to Joe and Jeannie. Big shout out to Adam, Dennis Adam. Big shout out to POD, Philippines On Demand. Rena Hall and Mike Roberts. Big shout out to Mike Mays Adventures. Big shout out to Expat Nemo. This is our retirement, Tina and Norm. Big shout out to Ashley's Best Kids Show and RE's Kids Show as well. Big shout out to Nick Jr. Big shout out to Philly in the Philippines. Philly, Brian, and Lut and Hannah Grace. Big shout out to Philo in the Philippines. All the best to you and Melanie and the kids. Hope you're having fun back in the States. Big shout out to Lefty all around the world. Big shout out to Ed Libbert and a big shout out to Two Beers. Big shout out to Mark Whitcomb. Big shout out to Mark King. Big shout out to Scoot B. Big shout out to Annie Sales Vlogs. Big shout out to us. Big shout out to check out the Rileys. Hope you guys are all doing well tonight. Big shout out to Che Corset, Che Taurus, Che Cruz. Best wishes to you guys. I hope you're doing well. Just thought I'd send out some shout outs. Big shout out to an Aussie farmer in the Philippines, William and Chick. Big shout out to Philippines. My sister, mum, dad, my sister AI, sorry, my sister-in-law Tina and Alexis. Big shout out to Joey, Rai, April, Fab, and Harborn, and Angie and Jonah Lisa. Big shout out to you guys. Um, Big shout out to Rosalie. Big shout out to Nini Matit. Um, and a very big shout out to the Aussie and the Filipina, Steve and Queenie and Jenny Chaplin in Perth. And big shout out to our dear friends Karen, Brad, and Baby Jack. Big shout out to Ronaldin Sitlawan and Steve and Baby Jack. Hope you guys are having a good evening. Big shout out also to Jenilyn and Jeff and Baby Daniel and Nathan. Big shout out to Coach Jenilyn and Nathaniel. Hope you're all having a good time tonight. Yeah, so I find it easy to use my mobile phone doing my lives now with going out and do them, which is good. And makes it different. You can enjoy and just feel a little bit better walking around and having fun and talking, and it brings out a different perspective of what goes on in your area too as well, which is good. Uh, so I have fun doing it, doing all my live streams. But yeah, the phones are good. The GoPros are even awesome to do it with. They're light. They're more compact. If you have the long stick, you can shoot above your head if you turn the thing around. If you want to show what's going on behind you, so it makes it easy. We have good fun. And it's pretty well much okay. So Joe and Jenny, what have you been? Joe, what have you been up to today, mate? And Dennis, I've got to catch up with Jane and John too. I meant to catch up with them yesterday, and I didn't get a chance to. I have to watch one of the. I think he's got a new video out, hasn't he? Now, Dennis. Oh, there's so many good people on here. So many good people doing live streams, and that it's just awesome. They're all good. You're all doing great videos. Kevin Nash has got a good channel. Mars Bankard's got a good channel. Rain Hall's got a good channel. So, there's lots of good channels out there. My good friends, Terence and Beth, have got a foreigner living in the Philippines. Their channel's good and awesome content, good videos. There's so many good channels out there, guys. Nico's Experience, big shout out to Nico too, by the way. Big shout out to Alu Martin, Rebecca QB, Hope you guys are having a good night, enjoying. Um, so, it depends on what you're doing. It's just, if you love doing, I do this as a hobby, guys. Basically, my day's been taken. Oh, I had to also today get rid of the cobwebs and the spider webs from the top of the roof out there, and over there in the pergola. I've got to find out whether there's a chemical I can get, like morphine, that won't hurt your eyes. Similar to what you do use with the sea salt in a water uh, thing on the hose, and you can hose it up and it gets rid of all the insects and the spiders and those spider webs. And then after that, you leave it for a couple of minutes and then just hit it with the hose and then spray it with some mortine or some other Peebo or whatever it is, to get rid of all those insects that get in places where you don't want them. But it's I had to do that. Apart from pick up after CJ with his toys, that's always fun because he just leaves them everywhere. Kids, don't you love them? They're good. Good for you. CJ's good for you. He just leaves his toys all over the place, and Daddy got to go pick them up. And I had to pick up some stuff I missed tonight too. Pick up all the leaves, housework, you know, outdoor housework, I should say, not indoor housework, outdoors housework around the pot plants and stuff like that. I also watered the front, so gave that a good watering with the hose and the sprinkler, and brought the compost bin around, done that, cleaned that out. That's sitting over there near the rubbish bins. What else did I do today? Oh, I watered out the back here tonight. Tomorrow morning, I'll water. If I get up early, I'll water the pot plants along here, and then I'm gonna go up tomorrow and pick up Mum's scripts from Debbie White Pharmacy, and Wednesday I've got to drop some money off to my two good friends. What else? I got other things. I can't touch that pond until Bunnings opens, and like I say, I don't want to ring them and it's what they call contactless. So you basically ring up and say, "Oh, I need this cement and that," but there's a certain cement I want. It's a pre-mixed cement, and I went to the soil place the other day and checked on it, and I wasn't a little bit happy with their soil. The last time I got delivered soil, so I have to ring Bunnings or go down to Bunnings. Hopefully, when they lift all this restriction, I can get down to Bunnings and go and pick up the cement I actually want. Mum said if I was the reject shop tomorrow to pick up a pot for one of the pot plants outside. Northbrook. You know, different waters taste different. Um, some waters taste really. Mm, this one's not too bad. The other one is a bit better. The natural spring one is a bit better. This one's natural spring Australian spring water. I say it's spring water, but I reckon it's water out of the tap, to be honest. Um, but it's Northbrook, and it tastes okay. That's about as far as I'm going to draw that one. Oh, that's a good idea, Dennis. I will do. You still there, Joe and Jeannie and Dennis? Because I've got 2 likes and 0 um, counter on the top there. Don't know why. Uh, YouTube seem to be buggerising around with their technology there. I'm not criticising YouTube. I'm just saying it seem to be. I've got 2 people on, and I'm only showing you zilch. So unless they're both gone, it's alright. I think that if you're there, Dennis, and Joe and Jeannie, give me a thumbs up, will you? Because the counter up there is showing 0 again, and 2 likes. But you know, doesn't matter what you do. Can't wait until we all are able to head back to the Philippines. I suppose we've got to be a bit patient, hey. I was watching Q&A tonight, and it was interesting, to say the least. But afterwards, we had the news, and then we had business news. And Qantas Airlines are going to put off another 2,000 workers, and then they're going to outsource. They're going to outsource their work. So they're going to put off another 2,000 workers and outsource their work. Doesn't make sense. Yeah, I cannot understand for the life of me why. I know because of COVID, and I tend to think that we should have. Thanks, Terence and Beth. I'll take a look after. I tend to think that if we had have just gone along normally with this thing, gone to work normally, come home from work normally, and just ignored this thing, it might have got better. I've got some photos coming in from Terence and Beth. Must be from their day's work that they did today at the house. So I will check that after. 9 photos. Wow, that's awesome. 10. 11. Okay, I'll check them after. Thanks, Terence and Beth. I'm doing my live stream 13 photos. Which is good, because at least I get to see what's going on. Thank you, Terence and Beth. Um, um, where was I? Before I got thrown off the cliff. Um, yeah, I just tend to think that we should be putting people on, and we should be just going along with life as normal. I think if that had have been the case, I and we didn't worry about. We knew it was there, but we sort of just went along as normal, and just everybody went to work as if it was a normal day. And if you took sick, and if like the stimulus package the government's uh, given everybody that fall out of work, um, it should have gone to the employers that if their staff had to take any more than 6 weeks off for this to happen, well, then they could pay their staff. And if they got better, well, then they returned back to work. And then they, if someone else at work got sick, well, then that helped the employer out then. I just find that would have worked out a lot better in that way. But uh, the way it's gone, and that a lot of unnecessary jobs have been lost. Hopefully, those that have lost jobs can find another job, and I wish them all the best. Things will pick up again. Things will get back to normal. It's just a matter of time. It'll take a while for a country to recover, like Australia, especially with the way things are going elsewhere as well. Um, our economy will recover eventually, but it'll take a bit of time. And we've just got to work together and put in the hard yards as we always do, as us Aussies always do the hard yards and get on with it, get our hands dirty, and you know, just pitch in and help each other out. Like I heard tonight, the fires that were down the southeastern side of our country there just before Christmas. They've got granny flats that they could be building. Um, Basically, these granny flats are turned up at each individual property that lost person that lost their house, or families that lost their house. These makeshift granny flats have turned up, and they've got to put them together. But like everything, government red tape. They got them there. They just need the workers to come and put them together for the farmers. They're like kit homes until once they put them together and live in them while they're building their home again. Well, that's good, but they're just sitting there waiting to be built. Some of these farmers can't build a house because they get people that build sheds and stuff like that. But like with government red tape, can't do it until things are, right. And because of all this lockdown system, workers and that can't get onto properties because they can't travel any more than 5k out of their own area. And they've got to have a legitimate reason. So much bullshit, to be honest. And Christopher Beecham would agree with me on that. Just doesn't make sense, guys. It really doesn't, We've got a lot of farmers that have lost houses due to fires, and they've got these granny flats lobbed up at their place, been unloaded, waiting to be built. Can't build them because builders can't get on properties because they're restricted to a 5k zone thingy bot, and they've got to have a legitimate reason, and because the government don't want people to be from outside coming into a person's property that's been quarantined or not supposed to be meeting each other. They're frightened that they'll give them the virus. When you look at it, it's a bit ridiculous. Because if you're wearing your proper, adequate face mask and everything, I know some builders on building sites have been caught without wearing face masks, but sometimes when you're building a certain thing or you're doing a certain thing, it sometimes gets a bit restrictive. But still, when you're working at someone's place, you need to wear a face mask to protect yourself. So, and it's not just protecting you, it's protecting them as well. So, so there's a lot of government red tape on these people wanting their houses built. And look, shit, fair dinkum, guys. These fires happened in just before around January, and they've had these houses, makeshift bungalows or granny flats, whatever you like to call them, to be put on their property, which they've all sort of, each individual farm has got them at the moment. But they can't put them up because of this government red tape. And this is all happening down the southeastern side of town. Oh, sorry, that way. Silly me. Don't told you, mate. So they've got to wait. So meanwhile, they're in caravans and makeshift sheds. If some farms are probably lucky that their sheds escaped the fire, so they've had to use their work sheds as a house until they've probably had to put a makeshift. Unlike my friends up in Colac who have got work sheds, got an office. The office has got tap and sink and stuff like that. So, they're lucky if they got that for their wife and store their fruit and vegetables and stuff like that in there, and put their camp beds in and stuff, put a makeshift shower up, probably outside or inside. Hopefully they got hot water in there to shower or whatever. I'm really feeling their pain. I really am. It's not good. Like all this money that they raised for concerts and stuff like that the government raised for concerts, and look, it'll probably happen, but it seems to be taking ages, and for farmers to be able to at least be comfortable while they're doing their work, you think the government would help them get them up and running. I don't know. Government say, you pay it's like your state government, you pay your rates and everything like that, and it's like, oh, it's all right. It's okay. Look, I've got a freaking fence out there. It's sort of like that at the moment. It's not falling all the way over, but it's sort of tilted a little bit. For the council to come out and do something like that, they want me to pay half and they pay half, but it's on their side of the thing, and it's their land that's causing my fence to fall forward. Now, for me to do it, it's going to cost me $2,000 Australian to fix that whole side fence up. The back fence up here, that's okay, but I've got to redo it from the front fence all the way down, and it's got to be the same as what's there. And they've got to get around trees and shrubs to pull it apart. I, for life of me, can't understand why they can't lift the original fence back into place, cement it both sides, and prop it up. But nah, we're going to take the whole lot down. You just can't cut a section out, so, and put the other section in. We're going to take the whole lot down. It's going to cost you $2,000. Seriously. This does not make sense. If it was me and I was a fencing contractor and I saw that only a certain part of the fence was falling forward, go in and have a look. I've got a crew of 4. 2 on the outside, 2 on the in. Get your backhoe, prop the thing back into place, lift it up, prop it back into place, cement it around, put a support rail in till the cement dries. Bingo. Either that or cut that section out and make it like a gate. But I don't want a gate on a reserve properly. I don't want to have to go out there. Well, why have 3 sections of, 2 sections go out the garage and then the other roller door to the front. Why have one there? Unless you've got a caravan you need to bring in. But we haven't got that, so we don't need that, But, it's one of those things. What do you do? But, with these farmers, like, these fires been quelled and gone since this came in. Or, the fires came around January, February of last year. And the farmers have been living in makeshift caravans and stuff till now. Still doing it now. So, they got all these granny fats sitting on each individual property that got burnt up there at Morwell and Omeo and Sale. Yet they can't find builders to put them up because the builders can't go any more than 5k out of their own zone due to all this corona crap, you know. Just defies logic, honestly, it really does. It's supposed to be getting people work, and it seems to be an excuse not to give people jobs, let them be on the job seeker or uh, whatever. I'm not criticising the government one bit, trust me, I'm not, but just seems to think that, you know, if you're got work there and you've got builders and stuff, let them go on the property and fix these build uh, granny flats for these farmers. Make it a whole lot easier for them. Make life easier for them, you know. Instead of living in a shed with a makeshift heater and stuff like that, it really would. So, you know, it's one of those things. That's what's been happening, Dennis and Joe and Jeannie. They've government sort of, yeah, with 5 cases and 2 deaths coming down. Restrictions from stage 4 to stage 3 are slowly being lifted, but we've still got the 5k limit, and they're really making it October 19. They will re-look at taking a few more off, but like there's a lot of people out here in this country, let alone America. A lot of people in this country, guys, that are suffering, losing their jobs, trying to find another job to compensate for the one they've lost. If their wife is working, they're lucky. There's a bloke the other night, he was trucking, and his wife, and they're now brought swags because the government's foreclosing on this. The banks are foreclosing, sorry, not the government. The banks are foreclosing on their house loans, and they're struggling to pay electricity bills and stuff like that. So they brought a swag, or a couple of swags, and they're going to live in a caravan park, and hopefully be able to stay, probably go from one caravan park to another, and hopefully live like that. But they're lucky to have $10 in their bank apparently. So just, you know, there's a lot of people out there going to do it tough. There's a lot of people in Melbourne. You walk. I think when I was in the city last, which is about probably 5 months ago, just before all this happened, walking through the city, and you see people sleeping in doorways and stuff like that. Well, you know, it's going to get worse the way it's going. Things aren't going to get better. Hopefully it'll pick up. Hopefully people will be able to think, but there's a lot of people out there doing it hard and doing it rough, and probably using the public toilets to wash and stuff like that, like train stations and stuff. Yeah, you don't really know how hard it is until you actually see it, you know. Seeing people walking with just a backpack on their thing and going into a public toilet and washing. Um, it's worse when you see a family with kids. Father takes the two sons in, and the mother takes the two daughters in. They go into the female and they go into the men. And like, it's not a good place to have kids in. Uh, Going to the toilet at Flinders Street, and you've got to keep your eyes on. I'm not saying there's a lot of people out there that are deviant or whatever, but it's not really the place to be walking kids into a public toilet block if you're sleeping out on the streets. It's bad enough if you're sleeping out on the streets. I think a lot of families out there probably go back to their uh, parents' places. Some probably, if they're lucky to um, get jobs on plantation, apple orchards, uh, you know, avocado orchards up in Queensland and over in Perth. I just saw a thing tonight on the TV with these orchard people screaming out for workers, but uh, they can only get backpackers because they don't want to pay. They can't really afford to pay a family a decent wage to pick fruit. It's basically what's happened now is the tide's turned, and now backpackers are going up there to pick fruit. Look, I'd do it. But I can't go any more than 5k out of my area. Plain and simple. Cannot go 5k out of my area to go and pick fruit because it's up in the Golden Valley and it's about 2.5 hours away. And to live on a country farm and save up some money while you're up there, and the money goes straight into your bank account, which is good now the way they got the system running. So when you're working, you're picking apples, or you're picking pears, or you're picking oranges, on tall ladders and on the ground and stuff like that, picking them off the trees. It's good money. Really, it is good money if you're doing really well. I think each individual person's got an area, but if you get on with people, you've got no problem. Everybody's out there to make money, and everybody's out there to think, but the decent average Australian doesn't want to do it. So the backpackers have got to do it, and they don't got to do it. They choose to do it because they're out here traveling the country. So if they can get that sort of work, they're laughing. That's okay. But for our own Australians, it's like, oh, I'm too proud to pick oranges. Seriously, guys, they need to get off their backside and take a good hard look at themselves, because it's not hard work. Might be hot work, but it's not hard work. And you get like a little bungalow type thing for yourself, say a bed, tap, and probably toilets or amenities. That's what we call toilets here, guys. Amenities, which is probably a toilet, bathroom, and a shower. That's what a farmer has on his property. He would have a toilet, a shower, and a kitchen. So that's his amenities for washing your hands, having a shower, getting cleaned up, um, and just enjoying yourself, you know. Uh, so there's plenty of work out here in this country if you're willing to pick fruit and stuff. Okay, the money probably thing, but it depends on how much you do and whether you're a hard worker and if you're willing to do the hard yards. Well, God, guys, that's good, you know. But as I said, there's a lot of Australians out there that are too proud to take it on. So, but I would. Arlene said she would if we wanted to do a different thing in life. I suppose we'd do something like that, and CJ would probably have fun doing that, picking fruit, having fun running around, going to school and country schools. So you just enjoy what you're doing and have fun doing it. That's what life's all about. But the way this government is, some people that have lost their homes. I was saying that there's been, what was it, 10,000? A suburb called Tarneit, which is over that way, towards Geelong, Werribee, that way. You'll see it one day when we eventually get back to normal. Um, and we will do some more trips. We'll probably do another Werribee Park once all the this thing goes. Once everything gets back to normal again, we'll start doing a few more things. But and I can probably do a few more lives doing that sort of thing as well. But just at the moment, we're sort of stuck in doing what we can do, and it's okay. I don't mind. I'm trying to find new stuff every day, trying to find new videos, trying to do some new videos, get some new content up. So eventually we will have some good stuff coming out after all this is blown over, and hopefully getting back into work again next year because CJ will be at grade 4 kindergarten, so but I'll probably have to find a job that I can at least be close by to him, so it makes it easier for us, which is good. Um, so it's going to be one of those things. We're just taking every day as it comes. And look, guys, if you live life normal and treat life, if you live your day as if you keep living normal and just put this thing out of your head and just go about living, think, okay, sure, you might have to go and look for work, but it's not all that bad, really. We'll get back to it. We'll get back to being back to normal again. They say, what's the new norm? Who cares what the new norm is? We will get, I don't know, sometimes you think whether they've done this deliberately, but I don't think the governments would have done this deliberately. it's a bit harsh if they had have pulled the country down to despair to um, you know, make everybody sit up and take notice that uh, it's not that easy, in life. But there's some hardships coming, sort of thing. But my mum lived through the Great Depression, and so did my father. My father went to uh, was in the Second World War, was fighting in the Mediterranean on the ships. He was a naval seaman. He was in the Mediterranean. Then he was transferred to the Coral, and then up to Leyte in the Philippines. He saw a lot of things, and when he came back, he did not want to talk about it. Sometimes I say, I don't want to talk about it. I lived through it. I don't want to talk about it. You don't want to know about it. That's what my father was like. He'd been through it. He'd seen it all. Seen gun batteries blasted from and troops on the sailors, losing their arms, losing their legs because of planes crashed into them, kamikazes and stuff like that. War wasn't good. War was brutal. And, you look at life today with what's going on over in Syria and Kuwait and stuff like that. It's just Afghanistan. It's not good. But we have to try and live our lives, those that are here. Those that are fighting, we respect and should hold our head up to them for fighting for a good cause and helping our country out. We shouldn't have gone to Vietnam, but we did. Um, but, we helped America, and that was good. In Vietnam, we helped them in the Second World War around Leyte, kept the Japs away from the Philippines. Back in the Second World War, we fought in Normandy and to free France and England and Europe from Hitler. So, those guys did it hard. Boy, did they do it hard. Pearl Harbor, as I saw Mum Hapster's video this morning, Pearl Harbor brought a lot of, what happened there, and seeing the movie Pearl Harbor would have brought a lot back to my father when he was alive. That movie came out before he passed away, and you just think you're lucky stars. You live in a good country, and these guys fought to keep us free, and gave us what we've got today. And the young ones that are coming up, not CJ, but the ones, not my nephews, but the ones before that coming up after our generation, and don't know how hard we saw it through our dads and through our mums, what pain those that came back from Vietnam, their fathers that fought in Vietnam, our fathers that fought in the Second World War. We saw the pain on their faces and what they went through. Some of them didn't want to. It's called war neurosis, and a lot of people got it. Neighbour across the road, he's got it. That's why he's like he is. I can excuse it. I can excuse him for some things, but I can't excuse him for others. I'm sorry. But that's life. when they forget to take their medications, they go that way. It's just part of war neurosis. But our fathers that fought there and come back. Some came back, but they were still there. Those that were lucky to come back um, came back either with whole or lost an arm, lost a leg, lost an eye or whatever. Probably half their face. But you really got to think, and you really got to look at our life today and think how lucky we really are, because those blokes fought to keep us and give us what we got today, you know. But nobody can help what's happened with this virus. Nobody can help. It's something that happened, and unfortunately, what can you do about it? You can't whinge. You can't whinge about it. Okay, yeah, a lot of people are losing their houses. A lot of people are losing their jobs. Qantas 2,000, another 2,000 going soon. Then shit. This guy's on like 28 million a year. You know, well, he did say he was taking a pay cut. What's half of 28 million a year? Shit, and then axing another 2,000 workers from Qantas, and then they want to outsource their work. Seriously, like to contractors, private contract, outsource. That's the trouble with what's going on with not just our country, other countries. You got the greenies, right? You got the greenies wanting carbon emissions, stuff like that. That's all good. That's all well, But seriously, you've got to let it gradually happen, not want it straight away. But you just look, for every man and woman that works today's life, whether it be in office, some that like to work at home, probably because they haven't got kids. Okay, all fine, all good, no worries. They got no kids, so they can work at home. But those that have got kids are finding it hard to work at home because daddy's home, Daddy might be on his laptop. Dad, can we go out? Can we go out? Can we go and play? Can we go and play? Come on, can you take me out the park? Like, seriously, you're trying to do your work and you got your kids there. Hey, you look down on them and you go, but let me tell you, they grow up quick. And then one day, it's like that father and son by Cat Stevens, You sort of take a look at your kid and you just think, okay, not getting anything done, let's go. And and this is where depression starts, when the mental psychology thing starts, and you think, I'm not going to get my work done and stuff. I could have been at the office and none of that would have happened, but hey, it's part of life, guys. We raise families and stuff like that. You don't know what's going to happen, and we surely didn't see this coming until it came. It's basically given us a big wake-up call. It really has. Not just me, you, but everybody out the core of billions of people living all over the world. You know, it's just giving us all a big wake up call, and I suppose you look at it and you think, do we really need it? Nobody needs this. I feel for every father, son, mother, daughter, and their fathers and families that are going through this. I feel sorry for those that were lost, those 200,000 that are lost their lives due to this in New York. Seeing those caskets being buried in New York, put on top of other caskets to be buried. Um, I just feel for the people who've lost family members, not just here, not just China, not just America, but all over the world. There's new cases in Paris, France. I haven't heard the death toll, heard the case rising, 14 cases a day. Italy's copped it, Greece has copped it, all over the world's copped it. It's just, I'm hoping that we don't have to go to war, because there's another war broken out over between Turkey, in between Turkey and Russia, and Turkey's siding with one side of the country and Russia's siding with the other. So I'm just hoping we don't get dragged into that. And I think as far as as far as what I'm concerned, and this is my opinion, is that I think we should mind our own bloody business and just let them go. It's like two kids fighting in a playground over land. Seriously. They're fuckwits, to be honest. Got no brain between their heads. All they want to do is fight. So, I hope America keeps their nose out of it. I hope we keep our nose out of it. And as far as I'm concerned, Australia, don't get involved in it. We've got enough problems here back home looking after our own people with what we got. And we don't need to be dragged into someone else's bloody war. And it's not worth it, whether it's oil or anything like that. Don't need it, guys. Don't need it. We should just mind our own fucking business and stay where we are and stay out of other people's wars. Yeah, I just wish. So there's no angst, as far as I know, between China and the Philippines. No angst whatsoever. Philippines is actually trying to keep the peace, which is good. Which is good. It's good to see. So I hope that stays like it is. But as far as Russia and Turkey are concerned, fighting against this other country, one's taking one side and one's taking the other side, we do not need to get involved. Let them fight it out themselves, because let me tell you, you do not want to get into someone else's war that you don't know how it's happened and why it's happened and who you've got to fight against or fight for, let alone, So as far as I'm concerned, we need to keep our nose out of it and worry about what we're getting this country up and looking after our own people. That's all I've got to say for that. But anyway, guys, I'm going to say good night, Dennis Adams, and good night, Joe and Jenny. Thank you for coming. Thanks for the 2 likes. Much appreciated, guys. Next Friday, 12 o'clock Australia time, 10 o'clock Philippine time. Saturday, 12 o'clock Australia time, 10 o'clock Philippine time. Sunday, 12 o'clock Australia time, 10 o'clock Philippine time. And Monday, 12 o'clock Australia time, 10 o'clock Philippine time. Take care. Enjoy. Remember, there's always light at the end of the tunnel. And life is good. Mahal kita. Bye. Take care.